It is 6 o'clock on May the 19th. Please call this meeting to order.
Alderperson Stowe.
Here.
Barnes.
Here.
Bauer.
Here.
Bumpus.
Here.
Koppel. Over here. Koski.
Here.
Sherrod.
Here.
Okay, we have 7 present and 0 absent.
Thank you. Tonight we'll have an invocation from, Virginia. And then please all remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Would you please bow your heads with me? Father God, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable to thee. Lord, you know you are my strength and my redeemer. Lord, I ask that you bless us with your blessings this evening on our meeting. Lord, I ask that you bless each and every one of us that is here representing our homes tonight and our community. Lord, I ask that you bless this council to make all of the right decisions, Lord, for the betterment of our community and our people in it. Lord, I ask that you continue to watch over us and keep us safe, Lord, under your watchful care. Lord, and I ask when we disperse from this building and return to our homes that we find it in the same condition that we left them in, if not better. Lord, I ask you these things in your precious Son, Jesus' name is my prayer. Amen.
Amen.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Virginia. Can I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda, please? We have a first, can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Audience to visitors, is anybody who would like to speak to council tonight for up to 3 minutes? Dave? Got nothing? All right. If not, we'll move forward to consent agenda. Alderman Bauer.
Thank you, Your Honor. I move we approve this consent agenda, including meeting minutes from our last meeting on May 5th, 2025. And payment of the bills this time is $434,274.57.
Second.
All in favor? Roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Stowe.
Yes.
Barnes.
Yes.
Bauer.
Yes.
Bumpus.
Yes.
Koppel.
Yes.
Koski.
Yes.
Sherrod.
Yes.
Okay, that vote is 7 to 0.
Thank you, council. Tonight we have 2 appointments. The first is for Michael Rodriguez to the city council. Michael has joined us here tonight. I'm looking for a motion to approve. What?
So moved.
What, do we have to do them both, or do we have separate? Yeah, we're gonna do them separate. So moved by Virginia. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Stowe.
Yes.
Barnes.
Yes.
Bauer.
Yes.
Bumpus.
Yes.
Koppel.
Yes.
Koski.
Yes.
Sherrod.
Yes.
Okay, that vote is 7 to 0.
Thank you and welcome, Michael. We have another appointment tonight. It's Brandon Thomas to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Brandon would be replacing Bill Davey, who stepped down, and Nate Kitterman stepped up to Bill's spot to be the head of it. And Brandon owns Spades Barbershop and also has an investment business here in town, and was very excited to be involved with the community. Can I have a motion to approve Brandon?
So moved. I'll second.
You have first and second? Roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Stowe.
Yes.
Barnes.
Yes.
Bauer.
Yes.
Bumpus.
Yes.
Koppel.
Yes.
Koski.
Yes.
Sherrod.
Yes.
Okay, then that's 7 to 0.
Do we want to do this readings all together for a second?
Yeah, because they're different. Yeah, they're different.
Okay. First of all, for the swearing in, we will start with Michael Rodriguez. Michael, please, front and center, please. Mary.
Okay. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Michael Rodriguez,
I, Michael Rodriguez,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States of America
of the United States of America
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution of laws
of the state of Illinois
of the state of Illinois
and the laws and ordinances
and the laws and ordinances
of the city of Sycamore,
of the city of Sycamore,
and that I will perform the duties
and that I will perform the duties
of alderperson for Ward 2
of alderperson for Ward 2
for the city of Sycamore
for the city of Sycamore
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations and welcome.
Thank you so much.
Now we'd like to call up swearing in of police officers Michael Hanson and Ryan Fisher. Could you both please step forward? think we can do both together. Oh, is that, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll have you both stand up here. And then I'll just state your name. So, okay, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Ryan Fisher,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States of America
of the United States of America
and the Constitution
and the
of
Constitution
the State of Illinois
of the State of Illinois
and the laws and ordinances
and the laws and ordinances
of the City of Sycamore,
of the City of Sycamore,
and that I will perform the duties
and that I will perform the duties
of police officer
of police
for
officer
the City of Sycamore
for the City of Sycamore
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my abilities.
Okay, awesome.
Would it be okay to have the pinning of the badges?
Please do.
Okay. So very honored to have Mike and Ryan join us. Mike joins us after 26 years with the Village of Barrington, where he served as a sergeant there, so we're very excited to have his experience. Ryan comes to us from the United City of Yorkville, where he was a police officer for 6 years, and before that he was a police and fire dispatcher in DeKalb, so we're equally excited to have his expertise and experience also. So Ryan's mother, Judy, is gonna pin his badge on. And Mike's wife, Kim, is gonna pin his badge on.
Thanks, guys. We go on to presentations of petitions and proclamations. A proclamation declaring May 18th through May 24th Emergency Medical Services Week in the city of Sycamore, Illinois. And proclamation B, declaring May 18th through May 24th, 2025 National Public Works Week in the city of Sycamore, Illinois. Presentation by City Manager Michael Hall regarding the continuation of the 1% grocery tax. Michael.
All right, well, thank you very much. So I'm going to emphasize right at the beginning here, because I think a lot of people don't realize this, that this tax has been in place for 45 years. So it's not a new tax that we're implementing, but a tax as a continuation. And I'll explain that as we go through it, and I'll probably emphasize that multiple times, that it's a continuation of a tax that's been in place for 45 years. So these are some of the questions that I thought some of the public or you may have, and so as I go through each one of them, I'll answer those, and then later on in the agenda, you'll have an opportunity to ask any more questions you may have. So first, a little bit of history of the grocery tax. It was implemented in 1980 as part of the state's sales tax plan. On August 5th of 2024, the governor signed legislation repealing the 1% sales tax. And then 100% of that that grocery tax was going directly to the government, to the different governments out there, to the municipalities. And if the city council decides to continue the tax, then the state will receive a 3% administration fee. So in the past, because the state implemented it, there was no administration fee. But if the city implements it, there becomes an administration fee. So if we reinstate it, or continue it, I guess is a better way to say it, then there will be a 3% administration fee that the state will be charging us for that. Well, the law reduces the state grocery tax, and 26, it authorized municipalities to redo that. Most of home rule can do kind of any tax they want, but as part of this law, he allowed non-home rule communities to implement this without referendum. So that's kind of why it's a little bit different in the way it was set up by the governor. So what does the 1% grocery tax cover? So items subject to the 1% are unprepared foods. So like fresh fruits, vegetables, uncooked meats, dairy products, packaged foods, staple groceries, and non-carbonated bottled water. Items taxed by the standard 8% rate, or everything else, is the ready-to-eat meals, hot foods, any foods, items prepared immediately for consumption, candy, soft drinks, alcohol, and cannabis-infused products. So those are the standard. So when you go to the grocery store, there's some that are 1% and some that are 8%. How much does the average household spend on groceries? So according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average annual grocery bill per household is about $6,000 annually, or about $504 per month. Let's assume that prices have gone up, and that may not be the right number to look at. Let's assume it's $200 a week on groceries, or $800 a month. Annually, that would be $10,400 for a family, according to a little bit higher than labor statistics. At 1%, the tax would be $104 per year for a family if you spend $10,000 or $800 a month on groceries, or $8.66 per month. $104 multiplied by approximately 7,000 households, which is what we have in Sycamore, would be about $720,000. How much actual revenue does the city receive from the 1% grocery tax? Well, you can see here the history. In 22, we pulled $750,000, 23, $719, 24, $719, and City of DeKalb, just to do a comparison, $709, $727, and $736. What I find interesting about this is that the City of DeKalb is twice as big as we are. Why is it that our revenues are about the same? I don't have an explanation for that, other than maybe because people are not buying fresh groceries in the City of DeKalb because they have more college students. I don't know why, but we are actually roughly the same as the City of DeKalb and how much revenue we pull in from that 1% grocery tax. What would be the impact of services if this revenue source were eliminated? Well, $720,000 is approximately 3% of the city's annual $24 million general fund budget. 720 would be equivalent to 5 or 6 full-time employees fully burdened, and employees make up about 70% of the annual budget. What is the recommendation for continuation? Well, we see this, since this has been in place for 45 years, there won't be any difference to a family who is currently paying. The annual cost to a family is about $100, $104 per year, or $8.66 per month. And given the facts, the recommendation is to continue the 1% grocery tax. So, I don't know, so what we're going to do tonight is we're going to ask, does the City Council want staff to draft an ordinance to continue the 1% grocery tax going forward? And that's later on the agenda to have more discussion about it. It has to be approved before October 1st and submitted to the state in order to take effect before January of 26. Does anybody have any questions? Or we can reserve those until later. Yes?
I have a question. So the 1%, if they're going to charge a 3% administrative fee, we're only gonna get 97% of the 1%.
Correct. That is correct.
And if we don't pass it, then the total tax is gonna go from 8% down to 7%. Is that correct?
No. So the 1% and 8% are separate. So the 8% will continue, so 6.25% is from the state implemented, and we, the city, have 1.75%. Total 8% in all goods and services within the city. So that 1% is a separate from that, it's not included in the 8%.
Oh, okay. I
One,
understand.
yeah.
Right, I get it.
Yep. Yep. Yes.
So, to re-emphasize what you were saying, Michael, is that this is not an additional 1%. This is an existing 1% that basically is just, it's changing ownership, in other words. The state owns it right now. They're, in my opinion, for political reasons, are discontinuing it, but allowing municipalities to, incorporated municipalities to continue it. Correct?
That is absolutely correct. So the state implemented in 1980, they discontinued it last year, and then said all communities who can implement it without referendum. Now, we had that option already, but non-home rule communities, you can do that without referendum and continue the tax going forward.
And so with the 3%, which they were not charging before, really becomes a new revenue stream for the state.
Absolutely it does.
And my calculations, if we just took ours, there's 1,300 incorporated municipalities in the state of Illinois. So I did a little math, you know, and said, okay, let's say 70% of the municipalities adopt this continuation. That's an additional, if they're all our size, which a lot of them are a lot bigger, that'd be an additional $20 million revenue stream for the state.
Correct.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's nothing we can do about it, but it just bugs me.
Right.
That, you know, they weren't charging before, but, you know, now that you're gonna take it over, we're gonna charge it, so.
Right. Yeah, so our 1.75% that we charge within the municipality right now, they charge an administration fee for those. So anytime that we decide to do something, that's when they charge the administration,
Yeah.
just to be clear.
Right, okay.
Yep.
But it is just a continuation of what we have.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So, will the fee be paid on a monthly basis or at the end of the year, or how does that work?
So we get the revenue every quarter.
Okay.
So they calculate it, actually it's a quarter behind. So when we get the revenue now, it's actually 3 months ago. So, but yeah, they take their fee as part of that administration at that time.
Right, I guess I have a question, I don't know if I know the answer. I'm wondering how come we had so much more revenue in 2022 and then it went down?
So it's just based on how much you're buying, you know,
Yeah.
there's no way to really know why there was more at that time, I don't know.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm not sure. It doesn't get into fine details like that of what they're buying.
Ben?
We have feedback from our groceries around here about how they've reacted to it, or you know, how they've experienced customer sentiment about it.
No.
Cause it's already been existing, right?
Yeah, it's existed, like I said, for 45 years. So they, you know, it's like restaurants or any other tax that's being around here. I mean, it's not the business that's paying it, it's the customer that's paying it. So they're either collecting it for the state and reporting it, or they're collecting it for us in a restaurant situation. They're collecting it for us and giving it to us. So really, it's just a collection for them. I don't know if they have, as a business entity, they don't really comment on taxes, good, bad, or indifferent. I mean, I suppose individuals would, but I don't even know how to collect data, something like that.
And curious as to, let's just hypothetically, we turn this down and we say, we're not interested. I'm curious, would we maybe get more energy from our grocery chains? We might actually, they may be excited, where that could be a positive reaction from the community that, wow, Sycamore offers theoretically a more affordable option for grocery shopping than other communities. We might actually gain by eliminating that tax.
Gain what?
More customers, more people who say, you know what, I'm gonna do my grocery shopping at Meyer and Sycamore, or Hy-Vee and Sycamore, or some of the smaller ones. Is there a plus side to this if we were to turn it down?
That would not translate to more revenue for us. It would for them, possibly.
And
Hypothetically.
I'm not focused on the revenue for us. I'm more
Right.
interested in kind of the community and the benefit to the community.
And that's a hypothetical. There's no way to know that. There's no way to gather that information to say, you know, we don't stop every shopper and say, why are you shopping here? And what's motivating you to go one direction or not? So I have no idea how to answer that question.
Plus the 1% only applies to just limited items. It's not
Correct.
the whole grocery bill.
That's right. It's not your whole grocery
Yeah,
bill,
so it's
correct?
like, I'm still gonna go to the Jewel no matter what. That's my place, the Jewel.
But does a tax like that potentially have almost like an inadvertent more of an impact on lower income families?
I would actually say the opposite. So let's hypothetically, let's take an example. When I was a student, I never bought fresh food. If I got an apple or fresh food, I was excited. I always bought fast food or something that was quick and easy. So it was more when I had more money that I actually started buying fresh fruit and fresh vegetables and making fresh meals. I would say it's the opposite. I would say those who are more affluent are able to make those healthy choices, whereas the less or poorer probably do not have those choices. They're trying to find fast food that they can get as fast as they can, or the foods that are less expensive, so they're not able to do those fresh foods.
It is indicative to like DeKalb, even though they have a lot more people, I see that, there's a lot more, they would, how do I say this without sounding, the demographic will not, they can't afford some of that stuff.
Fresh food.
Yeah, because it's expensive.
It's expensive. But what I have noticed, I'm a professional grocery shopper. And I go, and I'm telling you, when you have limited money, I go where the sales are, even if I have to go a few extra miles.
Right.
So I go through the paper and I look and see what Myers has to offer, plus I get their M-Perks. And I just cashed in 3,000 points, which was $3 saving. That might not be a lot to some people, but it meant a lot to me.
Mhm.
It took $3 off of my grocery bill. So I look at what's on sale and what I need, and I have stopped buying, just going to the grocery store hungry. Because I have a tendency to overfill. And I try not to take my young lady sitting here with me, because she has a tendency to put in my cart. And so if I go during the day, when she's at work, I come home with less groceries. And my boys, they're very picky. And I say, well, if you want this, you must give me the money.
Yeah.
Because, and that's what I do. And I know that a lot of seniors in my position go by what's on sale, and sometimes they buy bulk. I buy stacks of water when it's on sale, and I've gotten hooked on spring water instead of just the regular drinking water, because there is a difference in the taste. And I blew my friend off when she says, oh, I buy spring water. Well, I got hooked on it, so now I wait until it's on sale. And my niece works at Myers, and she'll call me and she'll say, Aunt Jenny, guess what? Myers spring water's on sale. Okay, I'm going to get 3 cases, and I stack it up, and when it starts getting low, I know then, but I look for what's gonna be best for my wallet. And I don't know that and I don't know if anyone else does this. I look at my grocery bill and I see what my taxes are, and there's 2 different taxes on there.
Right, exactly.
And I think to myself, I wanna ask them, does seniors get a discount?
And Tuesdays.
Well, actually, if you were on
That's what I heard, so.
if you're on an assisted program, either the state or federal, you don't pay the 1% tax. By
Right.
the way. Yeah, so they don't pay it.
No, I know.
If you're on assisted program of some sort.
No, I'm not.
So they're exempt. So. So, any other questions?
Just my perspective.
All right, thank you.
Reports of staff, committees, and city council members. The year-to-date budget report, Michael?
Yeah, reports in there. I don't have anything to add unless there's any questions.
Council, everybody get a chance to look at the budget report as updated? Good? Michael, not a question yet?
Saving.
Marv?
No, I'm good.
Nancy?
Nope,
Kitty?
it looked good.
Ben?
All good.
All good, thank you. We'll move on to ordinances. Ordinance number 2025.07. An ordinance approving an amendment to Article 2.4.3.b, duties of the plot officer of the Sycamore United Development Ordinance. Michael.
So in October of '22, the city council amended the Unified Development Ordinance to authorize the plat officer to approve re-subdivision of 2-family, single-family plots, and without recording them by action of the planning, zoning, and the city council. But after some time, however, we've seen that some of the cases consolidation also involves vacation, dedication, or modification of easements, which still require that plan commission and city council approval. So this ordinance, simply what it does is proposing a change to allow the plat officer to approve not only those easements that were approved back in '22, but also those modifications for easement as well, so they don't have to go to the planning commission and go to the city council. That's what this ordinance is changing. I think it came with a recommendation from the plan commission, and staff is seeking approval to make that modification.
Thank you. Council, any questions on this?
Just appreciate all the work that the team did to make this. This is wonderful, so thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 2025.07, and I echo what Nancy just said.
My second.
We have a first and a second.
It's a wait first reading.
Oh, I'm sorry, was it
Was it
first
wait
reading?
first reading?
I think that was first
Yeah, it's an
reading.
ordinance.
Oh,
sorry.
I'll make a motion to waive first reading for ordinance for ordinance number 2025.07.
Second.
Roll call vote,
Say
please.
first or second reading, so I was confused. Excuse me, Alderperson Stowe,
Yes.
Barnes,
Yes.
Bauer,
Yes.
Bumpus,
Yes.
Couple, yes. Koski,
Yes.
Sherrod,
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Okay, that vote is 8-0.
Thank you.
I move we adopt ordinance, 2025.07.
I'll second that.
Any discussion, council? If not, roll call vote, please.
Alderperson Stowe,
Yes.
Barnes,
Yes.
Bauer,
Yes.
Bumpus,
Yes.
Couple, yes. Koski,
Yes.
Sherrod,
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Okay, then that's 8-0.
Thank you, council. No resolutions, a consideration to direct staff to draft an ordinance to continue the 1% grocery tax. Michael Hall, please.
Yeah, so we're just simply looking for whether we should, go ahead and draft this ordinance and bring it forward to the city council for approval or not.
Council, any further discussion? You just wanna go down the line?
Yeah, please.
Alicia?
Yes.
Draft it, please.
Michael?
Yes.
Yes.
Chuck? Marv?
Yes.
Yes, please,
Nance?
yes.
Jeannie?
Yes.
Ben?
No, I'm not supportive, not without a little bit more fact finding, some of the items we talked about earlier, so, no, I'm not supportive.
Okay, thanks, Ben. Got a direction then at 7-1, Michael.
Okay, all right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, council, any other new business? Just one, thanks for this, Matt. Matt, is this is all available on our website?
Correct, yes,
Correct.
it's been online
I know.
for, yeah.
I didn't know if there was an update or change or anything.
No,
to
it's
it.
just the printed hard copies.
Okay, you wanna hang around any longer? Chuck, can I have a motion?
I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 6:30, we are out.